there was actually a pro-lockdown enthusiasts rally set for Sydney, but the problem is nobody showed up, okay? So they were set to head to Martin Place in Sydney to let everybody know how much they love lockdowns and how disappointed they are at the prospect of lockdowns not being a part of Australian life. And I suppose they protested by staying at home. They said, well, if you're going to go outside, we're going to protest by staying at home and supporting lockdowns. All right, so that's a bad joke. That's not exactly what happened. It seemed that for whatever reason, they just went and cancelled their protest, and it's kind of strange. But Sydney George actually went down there along with Chris Coveries. Chris was on the show before in order to capture the action from the protest, which never happened. But they took some footage anyway, so I'm going to show that for you right now.
Hello, MCJ audience. It's Sydney George here. We're just in front of Channel 7, and we just want to let Channel 7 know if you wanted to find out what's really happening, go to the MCJ report, because we don't try and paint a false narrative like the mainstream media do. Hello, it's Sydney George here. I'm just down here at Martin Place to cover a pro-lockdown protest with Chris from Chris Discoveries. To our bemusement, there's no one here. They just postponed the event 9 minutes before it was due to happen at 10 a.m. Chris, what's going on, mate?
Got here on time, came for a protest, the police came, the media came, but no protest. And that's what we came here to see. So we expected it to be something small, 30, 40 people, nothing serious. But then not even one turned up for this lockdown to zero protest. Zero protesters showed up. So I was looking forward to hearing what they have to say. No protesters. Disappointing.
There you go, audience. Ever heard of a pro-lockdown protest? You can't make this stuff up, and this is Sydney George reporting from Martin Place. Thank you.
Oops, sorry about that. Yep, so Sydney George, awesome work, love your work. Who here loves the Channel 7 stunt? We absolutely love it. So Sydney George putting the mainstream media on notice. That's right, the independent media. We're coming up in this country, and we're here for the people, not to slander the people like what they do in the mainstream. So I've got an interview with Sydney George about the events and to discuss this bizarre occurrence of the emergence of these pro-lockdown advocacy groups. Maybe they're supporters of Big Pharma. They like the products. They claim to be socialists, yet they're supporting the most corrupt and inhumane and wealthy corporations in the world. We're talking about the pharmaceutical industry, so it's kind of, maybe you could say there's a few inconsistencies with their message. Anyway, here's the interview between George and myself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined here once again by Sydney George. George, welcome back to MCJ Report. Now, you were at Martin Place a little bit earlier on in Sydney, out the front of Channel 7. Talk us through it. What happened there?
Yeah, hi Morgan, how are you? Chris from Chris Discoveries put me onto this protest that was meant to happen today at Martin Place. It was by Health Before Profits. And I said to Chris, who are these guys? They're pro-lockdown. I go, are you for real? Sydney was in a brutal 106-day lockdown, and these guys want these lockdowns to go longer. What about the mental health of these business owners? What about the mental health of the children? Are they looking mental health, or are they looking into the corona with a positive PCR test? And we say it's a positive PCR test, not COVID positive.
Yeah, exactly right. So let me get this straight. So this group, they said they were going to protest, and then they didn't protest. And what they're seeking from the government are more lockdowns, and they're in favour of medical mandates on people, or they're supporting the pharmaceutical corporations' products, or what exactly do they want, George?
Judging by looking on their things locked down even longer, that's what they want. Businesses are hurting, Morgan. We need to open up right now, and they don't like Dominic Perrottet's. We all want to open up right now and make Sydney alive again. We can't keep going like this, Morgan.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, it seems a little bit bizarre to me that anyone would want to be locked down. Maybe they're supporters of universal basic income or something like that. But anyway, George, what I liked about your trip to Martin Place is that you didn't let it go to waste, even though there wasn't a protest. You had a few words to say out the front of Channel 7. So what was all that about?
Channel 7, they're putting fear porn, especially when we had this brutal 106-day lockdown, trying to say people get vaccinated, get vaccinated. They don't talk about early treatment. They were just all pro-lockdown and shutting businesses down and just trying to get people to dob on each other. That's not un-Australian. We shouldn't be living in fear, Morgan.
I could not agree with you more, my friend. Well, hopefully we see some solid pro-freedom protests in Sydney soon. But before we wrap it up for today, do you have any words for the audience?
Melbourne, we're with you. Stay strong. Daniel Andrews can't keep doing this. Something has to give. United we stand, divided we fall. We need to stand together as one, Morgan.
I love your words, brother. Sydney George, we'll have you back on the show really soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan, and thank you to our MCJ audience.
All right, a big thank you there to Sydney George. We love having George as part of the show. We'd love him to be full-time MCJ. We hope that can happen at some stage. What you're going to see soon from Sydney George will be some roving street interviews. That's right, we're getting the microphone set up. George will be hitting the streets of Sydney to conduct some on-the-ground interviews. And by the way, if that's something that you might like to do in your city, send us an email, mcjreport@protonmail.com. We're always looking for ways that we can expand the show and to add new dynamics. So again, Sydney George, thank you very much.